Chelsea supporters will have to do a lot better than last Saturday's pathetic protest if they want to force action from Blues supremo Behdad Eghbali. But co-owner Eghbali and the five-strong group of football executives above head coach Liam Rosenior should take the initiative themselves to change the narrative around the club. Sign up for the Chelsea newsletter. Thank you. Chelsea owner Behdad Eghbali should take the initiative in making the club a successCredit. Getty. Rumours about Cole Palmer being unsettled won't go away. Credit. Getty. And once this busy month is over and Rosenior has his feet under the table, maybe they will. Eghbali was in the US on business last weekend and so was absent from his usual box in the West Stand for the 2-0 win over Brentford. He also missed about 200 Chelsea fans trying to make a fuss outside Stamford Bridge, but will no doubt have been given a debrief. Some of the chants and banners were directed at Eghbali and Clearlake Capital, the private equity firm he co-founded and which owns about 61.5% of Blueco, the Blues parent company. Read more in Football. The images of Eghbali and co-sporting director Paul Winstanley as clowns may have stung a little. Yet, there were disagreements, even between those leading the protests, about who the targets should be and what tone to strike. And in between songs about wanting their Chelsea back, not caring about Clearlake and praising former owner Roman Abramovich, the fans launched into chants about Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo and Estevao. All players brought in by the current regime as part of the £1.5 billion splurge over the last 3.5 years. Most read in Football. Best free bets and betting sign-up offers. Compare and contrast the much larger, more organized and hostile action of Strasbourg Ultras before, during and after the 2-1 win over Metz on Sunday. The most militant supporters of Chelsea's sister club have been refusing to sing for the first 15 minutes of matches for some time, furious their team is effectively a feeder for the Blues in terms of players and now, coaches, too. Given the lack of atmosphere for most games at Stamford Bridge this season, you wonder if anyone would notice if Chelsea fans went down the same route. The long and the short of it is, they are not getting their Chelsea back anytime soon, whatever that actually means. Abramovich is unique in the history of English football as a filthy rich individual willing and able to spaff £2 billion on turning a club from also-rans into world beaters. He was effectively running a charity for 2 decades, albeit with his own geopolitical purposes and in the hope of making lots of money back by selling the club, until the Ukraine war scuppered that. The only way Eghbali, Clearlake and the other members of the Blueco consortium leave is if they find someone else like Abramovich, or a sovereign wealth fund like Newcastle's majority owners from Saudi Arabia, the Public Investment Fund, to buy it off them at a profit. And to do that, they will need to make Chelsea a success on and off the pitch. Top sport travel deals. See the new year in with a bang with these huge sporting events. We have teamed up with top travel companies to secure amazing deals on some of the most spectacular contests. Our partners' packages include Biceps WWE superstars head to the UK on the road to Royal Rumble Tour. Bullseye Luke Littler headlines the Premier League darts on Thursday nights, soccer ball tickets and hotels to see top Premier League games at Man Utd and Arsenal. Horseface save cash on premium packages to all the top horse racing meetings with our exclusive code. Tennis, watch the Miami Open and then enjoy a luxury cruise of the Caribbean. Check out more of our sport travel offers here. If you click on a link in this article, we will earn affiliate revenue. A key question Eghbali and his football lieutenants need to answer is, what constitutes success in their eyes? Is it winning the Premier League and/or Champions League, as the Blues did multiple times under Abramovich, or just being there or thereabouts to keep the tills ticking over? And whatever the answer, what makes them so confident they can do that with such a young squad? The suspicion among Chelsea fans is, the money comes first, which it always does when private equity firms like Clearlake run companies in any other industry. If the sporting directors can make profits on the books by trading players, while keeping the club in the Champions League, the current owners can bide their time until the right buyer comes along. In fact, the most important developments to increase the value of Chelsea will be off the field. Fans can legitimately ask why there has been no obvious progress on building a 60,000-plus stadium that would allow the club to compete with their domestic and European rivals on matchday revenue. There is also the issue of the Blues still not having a front-of-shirt sponsor, despite claims weeks ago that an announcement was imminent. Eghbali and company would be well advised to clear the air, especially if, as some believe, Eghbali himself would love to buy out his co-owners and stay at Chelsea beyond the usual timeline for investors. Protests like last Saturday's are water off a duck's back, but life would be easier for everyone, including the players and Rosenior, if the master plan was shared and explained publicly. If those opposed to Blue Co and Eghbali are wrong, explain why. Ends of the line. Rumours about Enzo Fernandez, Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid won't go away. Nor will talk that Cole Palmer is unsettled at Chelsea, and they are both situations to keep an eye on. If the Blues really want £180 million for Fernandez, then he won't be going anywhere. But a sale which brought a healthy profit on the £106 million deal for the Argentinian in January 3 years ago may well be tempting to club bosses. Don't forget that Fernandez's value on the books for accounting purposes will now be below £106 million, because of amortization, so a 9-figure fee would bring a very healthy return. Enzo Fernandez is another player rumoured to be on the way out. Credit. Getty. Meanwhile, sources claim Palmer does not particularly enjoy life down south and misses his friends from back home. If former Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca were to succeed Pep Guardiola at Manchester City, it is said, the Blues' number 10 could well be tempted to return to his former club. Palmer grew up a Manchester United fan despite coming through Man City's prolific academy. As the Chelsea Files reported recently, the more paranoid fans reckon they are already being softened up for a Palmer sale by Rumours. Stamford Bridge Chiefs now wanted to build the team around Esteval. If the Blues did cash in on Fernandez and/or Palmer, the replacements would have to be impressive to avoid a big backlash. Blue feeling. The virus which laid low a number of players and staff seems like a case of bad luck. Chelsea made sure everyone in and around the first team received a flu vaccination ahead of the usual winter season for the illness. Yet Esteval, Liam Delap and Jamie Giddens all missed games because of high temperatures and other symptoms. Boss Liam Rosenior said a couple of his stars played in the win over Brentford despite having tight chests. Thankfully for Chelsea, the bug does not seem to linger too much, unlike the injuries for poor old Romeo Lavia. Romeo Lavia is back on grass, but not yet with the main group credit. Getty. Rosenior confirmed the Belgian midfielder was back on the grass at Cobham last week but not yet ready to rejoin the main group. Lavia did pop into the Stamford Bridge media room ahead of the Brentford game, one of a number of celebrities to pass through the East Stand bunker since the turn of the year. Cleveland Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders was a guest at the Carabao Cup semi-final first leg against Arsenal. NBA legend Joachim Noah and Canadian WWE star Chelsea Green were both at the Brentford match. Glass half full. Chelsea's visit to Crystal Palace offers a reminder that their recent managerial drama could have been far more explosive if things had worked out differently. Over the past week, Oliver Glasner has announced his decision to leave Selhurst Park at the end of the season before turning a flamethrower on his club bosses. While Enzo Maresca made his own dissatisfaction unknown, he certainly did not do so with the clarity or anger of Glasner. Oliver Glasner could have been mouthing off about Chelsea bosses the way he has at Crystal Palace credit. Getty. But that all could have been happening at Stamford Bridge. Before Glasner joined Palace he had, at one time, been on a shortlist in West London, considered as an option by the Clearlake and Todd Boehly ownership as a potential Blues manager. Just imagine quite how dramatic a public war of words between those two parties would have been. Full Chelsea Jacquet. Chelsea are rivaling a number of big clubs for Rennes defender Jeremy Jacquet. German giants Bayern Munich have been monitoring the 20-year-old, but when it comes to club-to-club talks the Blues may have the edge. That is because they are dealing with a former Blueco employee. Chelsea are interested in Rennes star Jeremy Jacquet credit. Getty. The man across the table from the Chelsea negotiators is Rennes director of football, Loic Desire. Desire, 50, joined the Rennes executive team in May last year from none other than Strasbourg, Chelsea's sister club also owned by Blueco. The Frenchman worked at Strasbourg for almost 11 years, leaving the club last year as chief scout, having previously worked for Ajax in the Netherlands. Red card license. Blues defender Wesley Fofana has certainly not had a quiet time off the pitch of late. The France international has been dubbed the worst driver in the Premier League after taking his driving license points tally to a staggering 50 with his latest offence. That has not gone unnoticed by opposing fans. Rival fans have started chanting about Wesley Fofana having more points on his driving license than Chelsea have points credit. Getty. Fofana was named on the bench against Brentford but was quickly spotted by the Bees fans as he trotted out to warm up. And the defender could not help but crack a smile as the away end broke out into a chorus of, "He's got more points than Chelsea." With the Blues currently on 34 points in the Premier League, we could be hearing that one for a while yet. Sanchez gesture. Premier League players are subjected to so many rights-holder interviews before and after games that it is no wonder most of them sound like robots. So when a pre-match interview with Robert Sanchez before Christmas had to be cancelled last minute, you would think the goalkeeper would have skipped out of the room and got on with his day. Recommended stories. However, when Sanchez found out that the interview had been canned as the reporter's partner had suddenly gone into labor, he wanted to send a video message to the broadcaster in question. Sanchez congratulated the family on their new arrival and wished them a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Robert Sanchez was upset after not doing an interview and sent a reporter a congratulations video after the birth of their child. Credit. Getty. Comments.